Hey, what's up, GT gang? Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, I'm Mojo, and that's me and my girlfriend. Anyway, today we're going to be building a Hemi. It's the very start of the build, so I had everything torn apart in the last video, and today we're starting to build it back. I sent my heads off, and I'm currently waiting to try to get a hold of him. It's kind of being a tricky situation. I don't really want to get into detail about it until it's all said and done. So I have all my parts for my heads and everything, but we'll get into that into the next video. But for this video, we're going to be installing the SRT MAX PLUS camshaft. And if you follow me on TikTok, you would have seen that was done a while ago. And I just got a job, and I've been working a lot lately, and I finally have some time to start hammering at some videos. I uploaded a couple of TikToks last night, and I'm actually going to be working on the charger today. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing, but I'm going to be working on it today. So the biggest thing is going to be putting in the cam, doing the timing, showing you how I did the timing. It's actually dummy proof. And on top of that, we're going to be installing the timing cover, and we cleaned it up. I'm going to tell you how to install the oil pan. You actually have to lift up the engine, but I'll get into that further in the video, so stay tuned. And then what else did we do? I just painted the top of the block, even though it's not going to matter, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I don't want to ramble on too much. I'll see you guys at the end. So in order to remove the oil pan completely, we have to drop the steering rack. And in order to do that, I have to loosen this nut that holds in the shaft to the actual rack itself. So I'm taking out this nut, or this bolt, loosen it up really good, and then I'll be able to pull that shaft off. And then from there, we should be able to remove the two mounting bolts for the steering rack, drop it down, remove the pan, and then we're good to go to start cleaning the oil pan. Okay, everybody, so I dropped the steering rack, and I dropped the sway bar link, or the sway bar, and it still wasn't enough. So what we had to do was put in two of these 10mm head studs and run them all the way in with a chain. And we lifted it up. You could use an engine hoist, but we have crane deal going down. So we just hooked it up, lifted it up a couple inches, and just like that, we were able to clear this subframe with the pan. And now we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drop the car back down. And what's next? I guess I could probably do the timing and throw in a new camshaft. I need to go get the correct cam bolt, so I will rotate this until it's in time, so it makes it a little bit easier. And then I guess from there, I need to go buy a really long bolt for this because I bought the wrong one. So I have to go back into town to Ace Hardware. Okay, I impacted this off on the cam sprocket. Now I just have to take off this balancer bolt that I've threaded in so I can rotate the crank. And then this will come out as an assembly. And then, yep, make sure that you have your drill bit in here or your pin so that there's no tension on the chain and it can just come out nice and easy. Let's go, baby! Got it out, guys. Uncle Art welded up a bolt with like some type of tube off of like looks like a jack or something. Anyway, welded up, worked really well. So all these journals look really good. Nothing looks out of the ordinary in terms of wear. So we're gonna grease up the new one and throw it in. I'm excited. So I'm going to go over this entire gasket mating surface with a razor blade. Just make sure that any old gasket, it's torn off. I'm going to go over actually with a brush first, and then whatever I don't get with the brush, I'm going to go around with the razor blade. Just an FYI that this does not have a torque spec, so just go ahead and tighten them down. And then, yeah, I'll get this done, throw you guys on time lapse, and head on to the next step, which will be the cam gear. With the top blue mark on the chain, and your line will go up there. You'll have your what is it? It's like the dowel line up straight up, 12 o'clock. And you'll have your cog key going to 2 o'clock, and you'll have your chain or your timing cog on the crank in between the two blue lines. And then we are good to torque this down, and then I'll get that torque spec, and then I'll torque it down. Then I'll be able to pull this grenade pin, and I'll tension back on the timing chain. Gets torqued to 250 inch-pounds. There's 3 of them, 15 millimeter, or they're actually 13 millimeter, my bad. 13 millimeter, 250 inch-pounds, and then we'll go ahead and throw on the rest of the timing components. So featuring little girl, she's showing off the intake or the timing cover. Got anything to say? Actually, guys, I'm polishing this up. I'd really like to have this look really nice when we bolt everything up together. Just something, you know, to be appealing to the eyes. Here's all of the enveloped bolts and everything. Everything's nicely labeled. Water pump. And here's the oil pan. Actually, guys, if you want to remove your oil pan, you have to unbolt the engine and then lift it about 3 or 4 inches to gain clearance for the oil pan to come out. So that's kind of a negative, but it's super easy if you knew what you're doing right off the bat, because I dropped both the sway bar and the steering rack to make clearance, and it just wasn't enough. So if I would have known right off the bat that I needed to just lift the engine, it would have been a lot easier. So just a heads up, if you're looking into doing this, that's definitely a tip that I would have liked to have. So the next step is to clean the oil pan, clean the mating surface, finish polishing that, and we'll be ready to torque the cam bolt, throw everything back together. And then just a little hint, I just ordered a torque converter, so we're gonna have to pull the engine sooner or later. So get right started. And so I torqued, Sam and I torqued this to 90 foot-pounds, lube up the crankshaft so that we can slide the timing cup over. It'll ensure a good seal, and it won't damage the, or it'll help not damage the seal. So go ahead and put some RTV all along this edge, and then we'll go ahead and throw the new timing gasket and the timing cover and go from there. All right, guys, so to install your oil pump, all these grooves have to line up with your gear. So just like that. All right, guys, so this is the end of day 3. Put some more WD-40 in the cylinders, you know, just in case, whatever. I'll probably stuff a paper towel in here just so nothing can get in there. But under dry pulley, I went with a 25% under dry pulley from SLP. All we had to do, push it on with a dead blow, hit it a couple times, actually a little bit more than a couple. And then we just hit with an impact, drive it all the way in. And the oil pan kind of sucked. To actually install the oil pan, we had to lift the motor more than we did when we had to take it out, and it was a pain in the butt. We installed the timing cover before we did the oil pan, so that kind of posed an issue. But other than that, it's actually pretty straightforward, not too difficult, kind of just a pain in the butt, really. So all my parts are on order. I'm waiting for my intake valves. I'm going oversized intake and exhaust valves, little power baby, and stainless steel valves. So it's going to be a huge upgrade. I'm getting full port, polished gasket match, and on top of that, going a 5-angle valve job. So the flow and just everything is going to be insane. We're going to have huge power out of just the heads alone, and all this other little stuff is just going to add up, and we should be pushing around close to 500 horsepower. So it's going to be awesome. We're going to have to start upgrading drivetrain components now instead of just straight engine stuff. So I'll give you guys an update as soon as I can. Maybe I can take over some more parts to the machine shop here soon. Should be getting my new intake manifold here soon, and I'll show you guys that. We go with the Holley Sniper Efi intake manifold. So it comes with this kit, and this should actually not come with the kit. These are LS fuel injector spacers. You will need to buy these. I'm not exactly sure what the part number is off the top of my head, but if you want these, or this part number I should say, I'm sure I could find it somehow. I think I bought it off eBay, but I could find them for you. Just DM me or even comment down below, and I'll just send them to you. Whatever, send the part number to you. But yeah, let's get right into this. So check it out. You have your upgraded throttle body size with the O-ring seal. It's all sheet metal. Even this fill cap is metal. These are your spacers for the actual fuel rail. Let's see. This is where all your vacuum comes to. Is right here. You have brake booster, PCV, basically anything you want. Check out the ports. They look a little dirty just from the welds, but I put a flashlight to them and there is no leaks so far. Holley Sniper Efi. Look at this, guys. That's sick nasty. I'm super excited. I definitely wanted to show you guys this. And on top of that, it comes with a fuel rail kit. I'll pop this open for you. You will need to buy this. This is separate. Here is the part number for that. This is a -8 AN fitting that that you put on the back of your fuel rail so you can connect to the stock fuel line. And I think that's all the extra stuff you had to buy. There is the fuel rail itself. It's got Holley engraved in it. Pretty sick. So there's my intake manifold, and I have plenty of other parts on order, and actually not on order. I've received most of them. I actually have some huge news that I will unveil in the next video, and if you already saw my TikTok, you would kind of have the inside scoop, because whatever I do basically gets thrown at TikTok immediately. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for clicking on the video and even watching this far if you made it. I'm super excited, and I did mention that I was aiming for 500 horsepower in this video, and this was recorded weeks upon weeks ago. I don't know why it took so long to do this. I just got this job, like I mentioned earlier, and I've been working a lot, and a lot of my time has been dedicated to other things. And whenever I have time to work on the car, it's work on the car and kind of worry about, I'd hate to admit it, but like worry about TikTok, because I have 22,000 followers on TikTok, and I kind of have to put that ahead of the YouTube. But we'll get there, guys. It's kind of just an adjustment I need to work with, so just bear with me. I have a torque converter that I got, 3200 stall, that will be going in eventually. And I also have a bunch of other random parts on order that I could just show you. I have a 95mm throttle body. I don't know if I put that in the last video. But yeah, so stay tuned, guys. I'm not going to ramble on forever. Thank you for watching the video. Check out my TikTok. It's also Mojo GT. And I guess I'll see you guys there. And take it easy.